When the Cowboys traded for Amari Cooper, I liked the move. I said, listen, they need a receiver. He's better probably than the guy they would get, and they don't have a first-round pick, so they need one. They don't have a pick till the second round if they give up Amari. So the whole thing worked for me, and I liked Amari Cooper. But he now leads the NFL since he arrived in Dallas in touchdowns and yards. I thought he was worth the pick, and I liked the move. But I got to be honest, I didn't think he'd have this influence. Did you?
Before I answer this question, you don't like icing, but this icing tastes real good right now, don't it?
I said this to Chris Carter yesterday. The NFL, you can't hit a receiver over the middle, and every non-catch is a catch. Receivers, they're more valuable now. They are.
Well, and when it comes to Amari Cooper, you just mentioned Chris Carter. I have to definitely give him credit because when I was on First Things First, and we talked about this when it first happened, I was a little questionable about what Amari Cooper was going to do because of what he had done in his recent years with the Raiders, with the drops, with the down couple seasons after the 2 high Pro Bowl caliber seasons. And he was like, Greg, he reminds me a lot of you with his route running, his patience, his ability to create separation, and his run after the catch. What I'm seeing out of Amari Cooper is a very sharp, high IQ football player that is elevating his quarterback and literally exuding confidence in a young quarterback like typically we see with quarterbacks and young receivers. He's provided that for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott.
And also, really good people get caught in dysfunctional companies. The Raiders are dysfunctional, and they have been now for 2 years. I've said this before. One of the reasons I chose Fox, I knew people who worked here. It's a good company. I was at a company that was increasingly dysfunctional. There are a lot of people watching this show. You've been on teams. You went to Miami from Green Bay. You walked into dysfunctional.
Yes.
And you weren't the same player. Dallas, for all the noise, is a pretty functional football team with a lot of good players. Oakland's a mess. Amari was a trapped employee in a bad work environment and went to a good work environment and flourished.
Agreed.
Everybody was saying he doesn't work. Well, he worked in Alabama. He worked his friend. Don't tell me he doesn't have a work ethic. He worked his whole career until he got tired of the Raiders nonsense. Okay. So this is funny to me. Nobody buries the evidence like New England. So New England was situationally horrible Sunday. They were a mess. Gronk's on the field late in the game. Brady forgets the timeouts. Listen to this. So what order do you want to do? Okay. Brady blames a loss on himself.
That was that terrible play by me. That should never happen. I just lost track. I thought we had one timeout. We called the one, and then we ran a couple plays, and I was just not thinking on third down. So it was just a play that should never happen.
So Brady takes the blame. Gronk said, no. I take the blame.
The way it ended, I mean, it sucked. I mean, never really been a part of anything like that. Got to make that tackle.
Belichick says, no. Let me take the blame.
Yeah, it starts with me. We've got to play better situation football, and we'll work to try to achieve that.
Here's the way you end an argument with your wife. My fault. It's completely disarming. New England ends all the drama. The Pittsburgh Steelers would have finger pointed for 2 weeks and turned this into a 6-part docu-series. This is the difference between the Patriots and the Steelers. How to handle adversity. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right. And what makes this work is each individual, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Coach Belichick, they all meant what they said. They meant, when you listen to Tom Brady, it's my fault. And he's being genuinely honest. I forgot. I thought we had a timeout. Then you go Rob Gronkowski. I got to make that tackle. Come on, man. And then Coach Belichick, I got to be better. Like, no, it's on me. So the number one thing that they all have in common that means more than anything is winning football games. And I think sometimes, as much as we all say it, we want to win, we want to have success, we are not willing to take the ownership on ourselves of what it takes to actually keep moving forward. And that's what the New England Patriots do week in and week out. That's why I don't see them having a problem moving forward, because they own it.
It's the way I end every argument with my wife. Honey, it's on me. And she has nowhere to go. Even when I am right, which is usually, I just say I'm wrong. But seriously, Big Ben will go on Pittsburgh radio. He'll blame somebody. And then Tomlin won't create clarity. And one of the receivers will talk. And the media will go crazy. And Pittsburgh's got a Netflix special on a loss in, week 15. And that's so Pittsburgh. And that, by the way, there have been so many opportunities, Greg, for the Patriots to go sideways in the last year, and they just clean them up. They just clean them up. They get quiet. Do you take anything last night? Wild card teams, 6 of them won the Super Bowl. 6. 4 since 2000. Mm-hmm. Now, the officiating, blah, blah, blah. You live in Minnesota. Vikings will whine about it. But when you watched that game last night, can Seattle win the Super Bowl?
They can.
I think so, too.
They can.
They have an identity.
Yes, when you know who you are and you stick to that. I remember talking to Whitlock was saying that their run game is based on gimmick. No, it's not. It's who they are. You know they're going to bring in an extra tackle. You know they're going to run it and punch you in the mouth. Defensively, they can stop you. They can create stops.
They have a Hall of Fame coach and quarterback.
Like, they understand who they are, and they don't deviate from that. And when you go into playoff football, you have to know who you are and stick to who you are, because that's what's going to come out of you, who you are.
No, this is so true. When I look at football teams, the first thing I look at is, what's your identity? The Bears, they can drive me crazy, but it's a 60% college offense with sure-handed receivers, and they are great on the front seven. Mm-hmm. Dallas has their limitations. Front seven's great. We run the football, and we do throw over the top occasionally and burn you if you don't trust us, if you don't respect us. Yep. You got to have an identity. All right, that's Greg Jennings. That was good stuff today. I don't even consider you a player now. You're a member of the media.
Absolutely. I'm bringing you icing the next time I sit in this seat.
Why don't you?
Why
don't you do something for me for a change?
Love it.
Be nice.
I will bring you some icing.
Peter King, Trent Dilfer, Herd Hierarchy. Fired up next.
UFC Fight Night on Fox. Kevin Lee.
Then when it's fight time, it's war.